What is up, everyone, and welcome to Do More, Be More. Today's video is going to be about choosing the right time to eat. Are you an early person? Do you prefer to eat at night? We're going to see what's best for you. So stick around because that is coming up right now. Welcome, everyone, to Do More, Be More. All right, so it's appropriate that I actually have something I have my chicken cooking right now and I got a couple of things ready. Honestly, the big question is, what's the best time to eat? And honestly, it is whenever you're hungry. So that is all for today, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I am just kidding. But honestly, yes, you should pretty much eat whenever you're hungry, because that being hungry when you're just not satisfying that urge could lead you to make decisions that you may regret later, you know. And like I said, you should be able to eat anything you want as long as you're planning correctly. But if you're not eating it when you're planning it, let's say you wanted to have a burger and you're not, like a regular burger, not like a high protein, low calorie burger. If you didn't eat it according to your schedule, like when you wanted to really eat it, you may end up just eating out of your feelings, really, and you're not eating it because you really wanted it, and you end up feeling bad about it. So it's all about just moderation, planning your food, and that's pretty much it. So whenever you're hungry, yeah, opt to eat. A lot of people will say that you're probably thirsty, not hungry. If you want to try that, by all means, go for it. Just have a bottle of water and see if that does the trick for you. I honestly don't think that that's a real thing, but if I don't have any food near me, I'll probably just fill my stomach up with some water. Also with foods, if I know that I'm gonna have a big dinner later and I'm gonna have my lunch, I'll just stock it up with like vegetables and a bunch of other things. And a lot of people might say, well, I don't really want to have vegetables. Honestly, my goal is to make my foods as delicious as possible, but it's not going to be steak, eggs, all these other things all the time. I'll try to get there as many times as possible, but it's not going to happen all the time. So with that in mind, yeah, first of all, you do need your vegetables. You do need foods that are good for you. And if you're always thinking that every single dish has to be delicious 100% of the time and every single item in your plate has to be delicious, you're headed for failure, because just like everything else, we're not gonna like everything about something. So do you love everything about your job? Do you love everything about a certain sport that you play? There might be a drawback to everything. When you go to the gym, do you like every single workout? No, possibly not. And if you do, wonderful. But we have to learn to make some choices that may not necessarily be our favorite, because the moment we do, we start grabbing things into our diet that are much better for us and much more our benefit. So stocking up on vegetables will also make you feel fuller. You're stuffing your stomach with a bunch of other things that, one, are good for you, are going to help you avoid hunger, and then you'll be able to enjoy the foods that you prepared for later. So that way, when you do have those foods, you'll be like, yes, I should have waited, and you don't feel bad about it anymore. So if you're hungry at night, that's another thing. People will tell you, I don't know where this idea came from, but I can imagine before, when things were not proven, that if you are hungry at night and you eat at night, you should just go to sleep because your body is not using it for exercise, and when you go to sleep, you're just gonna gain weight. That's unnecessary. Well, if you're going with like 1 day increments and you're trying to have, let's say, 1,600 calories, doesn't matter what time you're eating it, as long as you're having those 1,600 calories, give or take, and then you should be fine. That's why I'm not particularly one for intermittent fasting. I can imagine that there's a few uses for it other than just losing weight. If you're just trying to eat as little times as possible, I can understand. You're a very busy person. I get it. So if that works for you in that sense, do it. But as far as like you're trying to just skip breakfast because it's just it makes you gain weight more, or you think that this is going to make you lose weight if you skip breakfast, timing really does not affect it. So if you are able to fit in every single food to satisfy you while you're hungry, and then have the meals that you're supposed to and maintain low calorie and high protein, you should be able to eat as often as you like and whenever you need to. With that in mind, would you really ever feel the need to cheat? No, because you'll never be hungry. You'll pretty much be satisfied at all times. You'll be adherent to all your macros and whatever it is that you're trying to do. And that is a good feeling in itself. And so I'm in one of my favorite rooms. I am in the kitchen. I am making some chicken thighs. I have about 8 to 10 ounces, give or take. I absolutely love chicken thighs. I eat chicken breast very often, but I also switch to chicken thighs every once in a while because, well, they're just so much better. For about 8 ounces, chicken breast to chicken thighs, you're only looking at about 40 to 60 calorie difference. So if you prefer chicken thighs, honestly, do it. And you'll only have to worry about those calories, which is almost nothing. So little changes like that make all the difference. I also have huge little, well, I wouldn't say huge, I could always put more, but this is basically some lettuce, some tomatoes, some lemon and salt. Just mix it all in together, and to your taste, of course. It's pretty good thing to fill it up with. I just felt like having chicken. I had a protein shake because I felt like having one earlier, and then just adding things like that just fills up your stomach. Your stomach is not going to ask you for food if you keep putting things in there. So by all means, fill it up with foods that are going to be helping you later. And I feel good about it. Another thing that I do is also I get 2 packets of sugar-free Jell-O, and pretty much this entire thing is about 80 calories. And sometimes I will have the entire thing. And honestly, it's just, my favorite flavor is the cherry one. I don't know why. I think it's the one that's more accurate to the actual fruit. No room for any urges or any cravings that are completely unnecessary. Plus, you're also craving that sweet tooth by having foods like that. And with this in mind, basically, look at everything I get to have. So I have the 8 to 10 ounces. This is probably 10 ounces of chicken, which is going to end up being about a little bit over 50. Very good. Protein, grams of protein. Got my salad here, which you can't really see if I tilt it, it's gonna fall. But it's a nice amount, and if I wanted to, of course, I can always finish this enormous tub of Jell-O. I may just have half because I'm gonna end up being full, because I'm also putting in a Coke Zero, which helps you feel full. Now, of course, I don't just drink Coke Zero all day. I also drink Sprite Zero. Now, I do drink that, but I have, I wanna say, I have a lot of water. And that's also because I'm very thirsty all the time. Mostly because I'm moving around. So with all these things combined, it's a pretty massive dish. Again, leaving no room for error because you are no longer hungry. And that's just one example of many things. This is something that I make very quickly, preheating while I season it, throw it in, and then I'm making the salad while the chicken is cooking. And I made a video while the chicken was cooking. So it's very easy to multitask. You just have to practice it. If you don't get it the first day, that's fine, but just take your time and you will be just fine. So that is all for today, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, as I always hope you do. Of course, appreciate the comments, any questions, any suggestions for videos in the comment section below. And if you, of course, you can continue following me on Facebook, on TikTok, and Instagram. I'll try to put other types of content there as well, and it's just a lot of stuff considering I also have a full-time job, as I've always mentioned. But always appreciate the support, and I'll try to have as many videos as possible. I got recipes coming soon. Just gotta give me some time and I will do that for you. So remember, everybody, if you do more, you will be more.